Good morning. Oh, it's so good to see each and every one of you. It's so good to see each and every one of you. Come on in, come on in. The sanctuary is fine. It's climate controlled. It's a lovely day. Okay. Let's sing together as the start of our worship service. The hymn is Come Sing a Song With Me. Would you rise? If you know it, help me teach it. If you don't, help me learn it. Here we go. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song. Come sing a song. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and roses. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And God will bring a song of love and rose in the winter time. Thank you.
The Reverend Kenneth Patton wrote, "We arrive out of many singular rooms. Walking over the branching streets, we come to be assured that siblings surround us to restore their images on our eyes. We enlarge our voices in common speaking and singing. We try again that solitude found in the midst of those who seek with us their hidden reckonings. Our eyes reclaim the remembered faces. Their voices stir the surrounding air. The warmth of their hands assures us, and the gladness of our spoken names. This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in the houses of worship. It is good to be with one another." Wherever and whenever we arrive from, welcome to this time and place where we find again the community of those who seek the hidden reckonings, who long for silence in the midst of a crowd, who lift their voices in song to feel their strength, who reach out their hands to be held and to hold. Welcome to this community where you are loved exactly as you are, where each of us arrives whole and holy, worthy, welcome, and wanted. Welcome to this place where change is expected and growth and transformation are part of the journey for all of us as individuals and as a community. Welcome to this time set aside for story, for singing, for ritual and remembrance, and for the shared strength of being together. Today, we extend a special welcome to any of those of you who are new to us today or recently. We are so glad that you are here. If you want to learn more about this church and how you might be a part of it, please join us after the service today for a place to start. This is a conversation with another church member about First Universalist and also about your faith journey. If you're with us in person, just join us right up in front of the chancel after the service. We're so glad you are with us. And today, and all month really, we are going to be celebrating Lauren Wyeth, who will be, yes! While we don't necessarily like that Lauren will be leaving her position here, we are very grateful that she's going on to serve the Unitarian Universalist Association and to bring all of her wisdom to that work that will serve so many of us. So today, if you want to, there are some cards out by where you dropped off your flowers. That's right. You can color them, you can write inside words of gratitude, and when the offering baskets come around near the end of the service, you can drop these in to help build a bouquet of thanks for Lauren. And today, after the service, you can join us in the social hall or outside for popsicles together to celebrate. And come back on June 18th, on Sunday, June 18th, Lauren and I are going to share leadership of the service together that day and share about what we have learned over these last 11 years working together. So I look forward to that time too. Arriving out of all of our singular rooms into this time and place together, I invite us to fully arrive. In whatever way works best for you, for me, I am putting my feet firmly on the floor and taking a moment to breathe on purpose, to remember that it is our breath that connects us not only to history but to the future, past to present, and each other wherever we are. We are grateful for this connection we share.
Well, today is the day that we celebrate and honor a 100-year-old tradition in Unitarian Universalism. It's called Flower Communion. You may have noticed that there are flowers everywhere. Well, in addition to the flowers being part of the celebration, I'm hoping that I can recruit several of you to be a part of the celebration as well. Okay, so here's what we need. Listen up before you volunteer for anything. I'll tell you what it entails. So the flowers right now are being arranged by a few members of our visual arts committee. They're taking your flowers and putting their wonderful hands into arranging them into just the right places. And we need 4 flower carriers to bring those flowers, there are vases, from the back of the room to right here, where we will pick them up and place them here. So again, take a vase and you walk it up to the front. There are 2 more opportunities. We need 3 flower blessers. That's 3 people to read a short line of poetry. And we need what I call 3 benedictionists. That word does not exist. It's 3 people to offer the final blessing at the end of the service, a poem by E.E. Cummings. Okay, get ready, get ready, get ready. Not everybody volunteer at once. We'll start with the 4 flower carriers. Are there 4 people willing? Yes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yes. In fact, yes, great. Will you remember who you are? Excellent. Then you'll hear a cue. Will our flower carriers, will our volunteers please go and pick up the flowers? And that's exactly when you would go and pick up the flowers. All right. How about 3 flower blessers? Yes. 1, thank you very much. Yes, and 2, thank you very much. And 3, okay, great. We'll call for the flower blessers at that time. And come on up. Yes, I see. And then we need 3 people to serve as benedictionists. I want that title. Yes. So it's reading a little bit of poetry, and I'll help you. Yeah. 1, yes, and 2, yes, and 3, yes. Will you remember all who you are? Whether you volunteered for something or not, will you remember who you are? And together, we will make a joyful noise, a colorful bouquet out of the many strands that we bring into the room. Right now is an opportunity for all of us to participate. I invite you into the hymn. Will you sing with me? The hymn is 318, 318, We Would Be One. Would you rise? We would be one. We would be one in how we joy in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew. Use it like cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for the meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, with love and justice strive to make us free. Thank you. Would you join me? I need one volunteer. Rosanna, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, just the hand went right. You could hardly see it. Welcome. You're lighting the chalice, yes. Oh, I forgot to say that. Would you light the chalice for us? Thank you, cool. Thank you. Love you. Okay. Will you join us as we light the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, the symbol that reminds us back to our community, and the covenant we use to bond us once more together. Together let us say, love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you so much, Rosanna, and thank you.
Oh, it is good to be together this morning. So, dear ones, as my colleague Dr. Glenn Thomas said, this is the 101st time that we are observing the flower communion. And given that this flower communion is one of our important symbols, one of our important rituals within Unitarian Universalism, and given that we are sadly saying goodbye to Lauren, I thought that it would be a good moment for a test of the youth who have experienced Lauren's tutelage in religious education to see what we have learned, and no phones on this, to invite you all to share what you know about, okay, all of you are looking really anxious. It's okay. It's okay, I promise. I promise you know these things. So, tell me, who, I'm going to have my little talk show host moment here. Rosanna, no sharing answers.
You got it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So, who can tell me who started the flower communion? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone who's a youth who participated in religious education? I'm in particular looking at the youth that might have gone to Boston this year. Not that we talked about it, but you all had an impressive command. How you doing, Ari? No one. Really? All right, what you got, Lisa?
Norbert Chopek.
Yes, Reverend Norbert Chopek. And do you know where it was started? Reverend Jen.
Prague.
In Prague. And can any of our youth tell me what it is? Lauren, I think this clearly means you can't leave. Anyone? Suddenly I feel like Jen and I are doing a stand-up routine here. Or a really bad test for the Ministerial Fellowship Committee. All right, so why don't I tell you a little bit about it? So it was, actually, this story is probably best told amongst the flowers that make up this flower communion. That's why we're having a hard time, right? We don't actually have all of the flowers amongst us. So now this really is a quiz. Those of you who volunteered to be flower bearers, would you please bring the flowers up to the front? I'm seeing at least 4 people getting up, which is great. We are literally overflowing with flowers. Did you feel the air change? Did you smell the flowers as they were coming in? Wow. So let's take a moment to take these in. If you're joining us online, I hope you can see them at least in some form. And if you can't see them, what I'd like you to imagine are 7 glass vases of different sizes and heights that are filled with every flower that you can imagine. Pinks and purples, reds and yellows, orange, and the greenery of stems and leaves surrounding them. And as the flowers came in, the air was perfumed with their scent. So I invite you, as you are seeing or imagining these flowers, what do you notice now that the flowers are together? We have gone from the individual stems that we brought, through the work of the Visual Arts Committee members, to these artfully arranged bouquets. And youth in religious education, I'd like to invite you to pay special attention. We are not a terribly liturgical tradition, and the rituals that we do have matter. We do this for a reason. This is the 101st time that we are doing this because it matters to us. It says something about who we are and what we're about. And so I invite you, as you're looking at that, to ask yourself, who are you in this ritual? Are you the flowers, arriving individually, coming together through a little bit of organization and a container into more than any of us is separately? Are you the vase in this ritual? Are you the container? Are you someone who holds together the community so that the community can do what it does? Are you one of the bearers of the flowers, literally embodying the act of giving so that we can receive? Dear ones, if you travel back in time with me to the year 1923 in the city of Prague, you would find there Reverend Norbert Čapek. These words, by the way, are from my colleague, Reverend Jenkro. He was a Unitarian minister. He was a founder of a community called Unitaria. It was at one time the largest Unitarian congregation in all the world. A place where people from diverse backgrounds and perspectives found together a shared sense of unity and purpose. They formed a community. That might sound kind of familiar. The kaleidoscopic beauty of each person's experiences and identities were welcomed there. And it was in that community that Reverend Čapek established the flower communion ritual that we practice as Unitarian Universalists today. As you did this morning, as we did this morning, each person brought a flower to the shared altar, together creating a beauty that none could have created alone. and then when they left, taking a different flower with them. Every person's unique identity was valued and welcomed with joy. And we do this to remind ourselves of who we are and what we can be together. A place where each of us has a place, where we with care and compassion help each other find our places, so that in relationship with each other and with the whole, our wholeness shines through. Made whole and holy by our individuality and our togetherness.
In 1923, the Reverend Dr. Norbert Chopik wrote a blessing for the flowers at the first flower communion. And so now I invite you both back in time to capture those words and bring them forward. If you volunteered to be a flower blesser, now is your moment. Would you join me? Welcome. Come on up this way. We're going to get near the flowers. Hello. Angie, would you take that? Hi. Would you take this one? Thank you. And would you take this one? All right. And would you begin with the words of Dr. Chopik?
Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection, and devotion to thy holy will.
May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of thy most precious gifts.
May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship. But may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It was 1941, and human beings were at war all over the world. In Europe, people were being arrested by the police for the ways that they were born, for who they loved, for what they believed. Dr. Chopik was one of those arrested in 1941. The Nazis, as they called themselves, forced him to receive a trial. During that trial, Dr. Chopik's belief that all people had a right to freedom and respect was judged to be dangerous. The Nazis thought that his message of acceptance and diversity was a crime. They said because of this, Dr. Chopik didn't deserve to be alive. It's 2023, and human beings are still at war all over the world. States are still arresting. Lives are being lost because of what we believe and how we were born and who we love. So many of our ancestors risked their freedom to help all freedom. So many have been shamed, disrespected, mistreated, so that we could come together today without fear and say that people are worthy and loved and whole just as they are. Let us honor and remember all those whose sacrifices, whose giving, whose lives are causing our freedom today. One of the ways that we can honor those who give of themselves is by doing the work that it takes to stop the cycle from requiring lives in order to have freedom. What are you doing? What are you willing to do to contribute to the cause of freedom so that our children, our descendants, our next generations need fear not? What are we doing now so that tomorrow has a blessing? We give so that others may receive. We receive by the gifts of others. Giving, receiving, growing. Our weekly practice in worship, available to us every minute, even when we're apart. The wisdom and love in our connections stay with us, and they come alive in the lives we lead. At the end of our flower blessing, the tradition holds that each of us takes a flower that we did not put in. So together, we have made this beauty. And now, we take a flower with us to remember. And that flower will never be by itself again. Even in your home, it will remind you of the abundance. So I welcome you to take a flower that you did not bring and allow that to open your heart to the meaning of this day. The ushers are going to help us to move toward these. Let's move the vases, I think, so that we can reach them. Thank you. Every time I see one of these vases, "Come share a rose with me," it just starts playing in my head. Oh, yes, excellent. There are so many choices. Choose the one that speaks to you. 100 years ago, the congregation did all of this in quiet. So we'll do the same. Friends, from the back to the front, would you come down this aisle, choose a flower, and return this way? And friends who are on this side, if you think I mean you, I do. You're welcome to come down this aisle. I know that's weird, yes? Come down this aisle, choose a flower, and we'll go back up this aisle. Does that make sense? Excellent. Let's do it.
Shall we just share just one between us? Is she in I've been thinking about you, Janet. I haven't forgotten we're going to get together. Lots of good ideas out there.
Is there anyone in the room who would like a flower brought to them? All right. Yes? Yes? You got it. Let me bring the vase. All right. Yes? Yes. Oh, you do? I'm seeing Franco. Franco. Oh, yeah. Yes. Right back here. Who needs one? Oh, yes. There you are. Okay. There's some good ones left here. Yes, of course. There you go. That's pretty. Great. I think I saw folks upstairs come downstairs. Is that true? Yes? Or am I about to do some aerobics?
I think they're good.
Okay, good.
We return to this ritual, to this place, this community, to this practice, again and again. We return to remember a love so strong that it can call us out of isolation and selfishness into communion, connection, collective wisdom, and action. We return to remember a faith so strong that it can hold us even in the most difficult of times. Not long before he was killed, Dr. Čapek wrote this: "It is worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Oh, blow ye evil winds into my body's fire. My soul you'll never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times or fallen in the fight, and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life was worth living." Whatever struggles we face, whatever grief we know, this ritual we have shared connects us to a larger love that will outlive all of us. Together we affirm our continuity, our participation in a long line of generations that stretches backwards beyond our imagination and forwards beyond what we can dream. As we participate in this continuity, this practice of drawing the circle wide, where each and every one of us is known as whole and holy and worthy, welcome and wanted in this world, and together with beauty and with fierceness, we make it so. Through this ceremony, we remember that though we are each only one person, we are many too, containing multitudes, each and all, together so much more beautiful, wise, and whole than we could ever be alone. And together we find ourselves living, as Čapek did, in the midst of eternity. I invite us into a time of meditation and prayer now. And if you like, you can begin by focusing a bit on the flower in your hands. What is it that you notice? What colors, what details, what senses can you experience? Who, you might wonder, brought this flower into this community? What is their life like? What struggles, what challenges, what joys animate their days, occupy their thoughts? What might you imagine about them? To see a world in a grain of sand, William Blake wrote, and heaven in a wildflower. To hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. It is one way to know God, the holy, the infinite. In this place of gathered strength and communal care, we remember that we are never truly alone. We are here together wherever we are, and together we bring to mind the people and the beings and the places who are celebrating and struggling as the cycle of life turns for us all. We celebrate with Kelsey and Jason Kelly as their family has grown larger by 2. Kelsey and Jason welcome twins, Henry, Jason, Kelly, and Anders Clove Kelly. Everyone is healthy and doing well, and they appreciate the congregation's care and well wishes. Our hearts reach out to the family and friends of Pete Crane. Pete was a regular Habitat volunteer, sang in the choir, helped to build the Peace Garden. He died in 2020, and there will be an informal memorial service today at the Shannon's house at 4 o'clock. All are welcome at 4125 Bryant Avenue South. Our hearts reach out in welcome today to greet and share in the support of Diabelis Gustavo and their 4-year-old son, Mateo. After a long journey of loss and hope, they have arrived here from their home country of Venezuela, seeking asylum and a safe place to begin again. Diabelis and Gustavo and Mateo moved into the sanctuary apartment at church last weekend, and they are settling in just in time, as Diabelis is 8 months pregnant, and we join them in eagerly awaiting the arrival of this new one in their family. We are grateful for our partnership with Nokomis Lutheran Church and ICOM supporting this family, and we pray for ease, for care, for reasons to hope, for ever-growing strength in this family and in us as we continue to care and to act in support of those who are so often forced to live in the shadows. We recognize today as the first Sunday in Pride Month, a month of celebration and commitment in support of the queer and trans community. And we remember that this celebration you can now commemorate by picking up a t-shirt at Target began with a riot. It began with resistance, with those with the most to lose and the most to gain, saying no to harassment and harm at the hands of the state. In this year, when legal protections of our trans and queer siblings are rolling back faster than we can keep count, and as homegrown terrorists like the Proud Boys threaten to attack pride festivals around the country, our hearts are with our queer and trans beloveds, as will be our bodies when we're called to show up in love and solidarity. We make room in this space and in our hearts for all the struggles and joys we carry, and we offer each other the opportunity to speak aloud or say silently in our hearts the names of those we are carrying. And together we pray that the grip of addiction might be loosened, that the weight of oppression might be lightened, that grief might be shared, that joy might break through, and that love might make every suffering bearable for us all. Amen.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Thank you. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice.
Lauren, would you come up and join me? There is so much to be grateful for about your time with this congregation, and I'm just going to lift up two things today, because thank goodness we have more time still. But it's important to mark our milestones. You have taught us this. You have taught us this in religious education as we mark milestones at different ages and stages in our life. When we dedicate our children here, when a family changes and goes through divorce, we mark those milestones. We commit again in love together. It's important to gather up all that we have learned, to take time to mark the moment so we might remember it, that we might remember each other in that particular time. It's true also that not only have you taught us to mark our milestones, but you have helped us to have hard conversations. You've helped us to normalize that as part of life, to talk about things like death, like sex, like race and racism. You have helped us to tell the truth when hard things happen in our community, and to do it in love. You have often brought the quote from Rowan Williams forward, that truth makes love possible, and love makes truth bearable. Love and truth hand in hand, together, working in this community and in our hearts. So we pause today to gather up some of what we've learned, to say thank you, to recognize this turning. We'll do this again on June 18th. We'll have more time together. But today I invite you, those of you who have those cards and have colored them or put a word or two of gratitude, and our online folks have their own instructions there. In a few moments when the offering baskets come around in person, I invite you to put those cards in there. And I am holding on. I realized this morning I did not want to do this. But I remember what a wise one said to me, that the part of you that belongs to me is always with me, and the part of me that belongs to you is always with you. We carry each other in our hearts. That is just how it is. So we continue to carry you in our hearts, and we trust that we are with you as well.
I do just want to say how very blessed I have been to work with you for these 11 years. How often I have had the joy of witnessing someone in this community bring a rose of love, bring hope when hope was hard to find to somebody else. Those are the moments that stay in my heart, these moments where we show up for one another in these really profound and simple ways. I'm so moved that you have trusted me with your children, in particular with your families, that you called me into this work. And I've done my best to help you on moving toward this very worthy vision that you have for yourselves of creating right here, right now, the beloved community, for living with compassion, for bringing joy consciously, intentionally into our interactions with one another, for being compassionate with one another, for getting ourselves and one another free, and for always making room for everyone in the circle. So I know you will continue that work, and I will too. Thank you for all you have taught and shared with me. I love you.
it is challenging to be in denial about your departure when people keep talking about it. It's even more challenging when I am going to talk about it a little bit more. But before I get there, just did our flower communion, right? Y'all were here for that? Okay, so youth. Why do we do flower communion? This is the quiz. It's a symbol of community. It's a symbol of community. It is in so many ways the embodiment of all of the things that you were just talking about, Jen, the things that Lauren has brought to us. Our offering this morning goes to honor Lauren's legacy, what she has brought to us. People have been asking me from time to time since this news has been shared. People have said to me, "Oh, are you all going to have volunteers do her job?" No. I say no. And I can hear that you all know why. So this is my opportunity to brag on Lauren just a little bit. If you all don't know this, and I would love to equip you with this little bit of information to share it if you happen to hear this question. Lauren holds the highest level of credentialing that you can earn in Unitarian Universalism for religious education. She and I graduated, I think, at about the same time, or were welcomed into the fold at the same General Assembly, which was 2020. And it was online. Yay, us. It surpasses what is asked of ministers. Okay? Take that in for a moment. She is highly skilled, highly specialized in this work, and that is a good thing too, because our religious education program here at First Universalist serves over 400 youth, which is larger, This is larger than most Unitarian Universalist churches around the country. I kid you not. Larger than most of our churches. And so there obviously is no way that we could replace you, Lauren. But there is also no way that we could try to do your job without someone with comparable knowledge, skill, experience. It is a strong legacy that Lauren is leaving us, an incredibly strong legacy. And we will hear more about this on June 18th when, in my words, Lauren charges us as a congregation to carry on this legacy. But in the intervening days and through the end of this month, I am inviting you, starting today and in the days to come, you will be receiving messages along these lines in your inbox, to make a gift to support her legacy, to make a gift to the church. This is in addition to your gift to the annual fund. This gift is to support and ensure that the person who is coming in has the resources that they need to keep this program strong and to build on this legacy that Lauren has created with all of you, among all of you, so that we can continue this work. And so today, I am inviting us to raise the equivalent of one Sunday of religious education. Can anyone guess what that costs? Someone said a lot, yes. Anyone want to put a number on it? $5,000. Very close. $6,000 is what we worked out last week. $6,000 a Sunday, which is a deal when you think about the 400 children and youth and all of their families and how this ripples out. And I'm happy to say that one of the households here at church whose kids went through and graduated from the program already have led off this effort with a pledge of $500. So let's pause a minute, friends. Let's think about what this means to you, to this church, and to your hopes, to our hopes for the future. And I invite you to join me in ensuring a strong start for the next person. You can write a check. You can give online. But let us breathe into this for a moment, and as we do so, I invite the ushers to please come forward to receive this morning's offering to support Lauren's legacy and the religious education program at First Universalist.
This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Will you sing with me? Yes? Excellent. Here we go. This little light of mine, this little, I'm gonna let it, whoa, little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, oh, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Next one is everywhere I go. Let's sing. Everywhere I go. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Will you rise? Will you rise? Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, folks. I got one thing to say. The permission to use your hands and body as percussion for the music has been granted in perpetuity. You need not wait for me. We can make a beat happen right now, yeah? Right. Okay, we have one more verse. It goes building up a world, building up a world. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Building up a world, whoa, I'm gonna let it go. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. That's the way. That's good advice for life. Don't you ever wait for permission to let your body do what it says it wants to do when the music starts, right? Don't wait. We've now come to the time where we offer a benediction to one another. I hope you will join us next week. And before that, I should tell you that we have an artist, Melody Strong, who's a local artist here, extraordinaire, who's going to be painting some murals for us. Anybody know what a mural is? Yeah, big painting, yes, exactly. And they're going to go right here, and they're going to be based on our ideas. So, we're having a brainstorming session on Saturday, this Saturday at 10, right here at the church. We need your ideas. Come, bring your ideas for what you would love to see here so that we can make it happen. Okay? So that happens on Saturday at 10. When does it happen? Oh, yes, and we are bringing ourselves and we're bringing our ideas. Yes, absolutely. I look forward to seeing you there. Now, where are our benedictionists? It's time to do the benediction. Come on up. Welcome. Okay. Why don't you take this one? Okay. Hi. And would you take that one? And would you take it? Excellent. And we're going to start, would you? Oh, the people want to see. Yes. Okay. Read it together.
I cry your heart with me. I cry it my heart. I am never without it anywhere. I go, you go, my dear. And whatever it's done by only me, it is you during my darling. Excellent.
Thank you.
I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it is you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you.
Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart.
Friends, as we go from this place, let us go to be a blessing to the world, and may the memory of this moment bless us now and until we meet again, and even beyond. We have one more tradition that we do at the end of every service. We sing a particular song, and we put rhythm to it, by the way. Would you rise? Let's sing. Where you go, I will go. Here we go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will. And your people are mine. Your people are mine. You're divine, my dear. One more time. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go. And your people are mine. Your people are mine. Your people are mine. You're divine, my divine. Go in peace, my friends. Amen.